Welcome to this Strategic Executive Explainer. Today, we're auditing a massive, almost completely invisible bottleneck, why high-performing founders, maybe just like you, are absolutely drowning in over-engineered workflows. Listen, if you're a leader whose daily operations feel infinitely heavier than they should, you are in exactly the right place. We are taking a hard look at the architecture of your business, and more importantly, the psychology behind how you build it.
Let's kick things off by challenging a deeply held assumption. Have you actually earned ease? There's this pervasive, honestly kind of toxic belief in high-performance circles that ease must be earned through burnout, that you have to grind yourself to the bone before you're finally allowed to have systems that just run smoothly. Well, we're going to dismantle that idea today. Rather than seeing ease as a finish line you have to drag yourself across, we need to start seeing it as a strategic architectural choice right from day one.
All right, let's look at our briefing overview. We're going to tear down the psychological miscalculations holding your operations back and show you how to pivot to a sustainable framework. We'll be covering the hidden complexity tax, the manual maintenance trap, the lighter version pivot, designing for executive ease, and finally, building a sustainable empire. Let's dive in.
Section 1. The hidden complexity tax, the invisible cost.
So what exactly is the complexity tax? Basically, it's the invisible operational costs you pay when you subconsciously believe a system has to be difficult, heavy, or punishing just to be valuable. What's really fascinating here is the realization that complexity isn't usually a technical requirement at all. It's a psychological tax you pay when you assume simplicity means something is missing. Our source material points out that many systems stay complicated for one simple reason. People don't believe ease is actually allowed. There's this subconscious assumption that if a workflow is easy to manage, it must be flawed somehow. The true value requires suffering, and that ease only comes later, after things are proven and stable. Until that imaginary day arrives, complexity just feels safer.
But here is a crucial paradigm shift. Ease is a design choice. It is not a reward. You don't just unlock ease after surviving some grueling trial by fire. It's a decision you choose while building your company's infrastructure. It's an intentional strategic posture that you have to take as an executive.
Moving right along to Section 2, the manual maintenance trap, fear of success.
This really gets to the root cause of why these punishing systems stick around, long past their necessity. Founders actually use heavy, redundant workflows as a psychological hiding place. It's wild, right? It's not about software or operational best practices. It's about masking a fear of success under the guise of safety. The research highlights a specific micro-story of a founder who absolutely refused to simplify a core process. Even though the system technically functioned, they were terrified that removing steps would reduce quality or control. They were literally using the heavy machinery of their workflow to hide from the vulnerability of trusting a streamlined system.
Just picture the massive contrast here between that false feeling of safety and your exhausting daily reality. To an anxious founder, complexity feels safer. It feels proven, like you've earned it. But on the flip side, look at what that complexity actually demands from you and your team. Extra steps, redundant checks, daily maintenance, endless mental tracking. Systems built this way might work, sure, but they only work with your constant, unwavering attention. And let me tell you, that is a trap.
Okay, Section 3, the lighter version pivot, testing operational ease. Let's look at a case study of that exact same founder who finally decided to test a new architectural framework. They implemented what we call the lighter version pivot, systematically stripping away that manual maintenance trap with 3 very precise operational upgrades. Step 1, fewer steps, just ruthlessly cutting the redundant fat out of the process. Step 2, clear responsibility, removing the overlapping anxiety of, wait, who is actually doing what? And Step 3, less manual involvement, actively stepping back to let the system do exactly what it was designed to do.
And you know what the outcome was? It was a total revelation. When they tested this lighter version, nothing broke. Quality stayed completely consistent. But the biggest change? The experience of actually operating the business. The system stopped feeling heavy. When they finally allowed ease into the system, the stress softened, consistency actually improved, and the workflow finally ran without constant, grueling oversight. They realized they were finally worthy of workflows that felt light.
There's a quote from the source that perfectly captures the entire philosophy of this explainer. Ease did not reduce commitment, it reduced resistance. I mean, that hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? This beautifully proves that operational ease stabilizes your output instead of diminishing it. By allowing a system to be simple, you weren't showing a lack of commitment to your business, you're just removing the artificial friction that was slowing everybody down.
Section 4.
Designing for executive ease. Architecting freedom.
Now that we've seen the pivot in action and proved that the sky won't fall when you simplify, how do we actively architect our systems for this level of freedom? Well, you have to fundamentally accept the worthiness of ease. First off, you must believe your minimum viable operations, your MVO, can be simple. It's allowed to be easy to manage. Second, you have to allow systems to feel supportive instead of punishing. And third, you must relentlessly eliminate any workflows that demand constant manual effort. You are giving yourself permission to build systems that work for you without demanding your daily suffering as payment.
Which brings us to our final section, number 5, building a sustainable empire. Transition to stability.
To build a truly sustainable empire, you have got to trade in that punishing complexity for supportive stability. Make that lighter version pivot your primary architectural brick from this day forward. Again, ease is not a reward for later, it's the decision that makes systems sustainable right now. And if you're ready to make that shift, upgrading your operational strategy by visiting 365freedom.online is the logical next step for founders ready to stop maintaining and start actually scaling. It is time to let go of the heavy machinery.
I want to leave you with a provocative final question from our source material to really challenge how you architect your workflows the minute this explainer ends. Look at your business right now. Will you let one system be easier today without justification? Thanks for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.